Okay, Tuesday, 7th of May, 2024. So, recognize that people have different goals and standards, expectations, values, everything. Now, this could sound like something that's, common sense, but it's one of those common sense things that need to be crystallized, internalized inside us to understand that everyone has a subjective view of the world. Keyword there is being subjective, their own opinion of the world. They have their own standards, values, expectations, you name it. I have a bit of an acquaintance that whenever we went out and we did things, we go to certain places, we'd be in the same situation, same scenario in public, and he would always go to different conclusions, do something different from what I thought was blindingly obvious. But I slowly realised that we're operating on two different standards and values, operating systems, you could even say, two different end goals, end results that we both desired. Now, it took me a while to fully realise this, always thinking, why doesn't he do what I was doing? Or why not? And then I realised, his end goal is fundamentally different from mine. Okay, so then when you understand that, you can look at other people's actions. This goes into what's called praxeology, human action being meaningful and purposeful, that what seems illogical to one person, the person doing the action, to them it could be completely logical, make complete sense. Like a few months ago as well, there was this other scenario with someone else I knew or know, and we had this issue, this bill, and I said, we can pay with this way, with this. And he offered a completely different way. He said, no, obviously not that, obviously with this. Well, that's strange. No, I would have said, obviously this, because X, Y, Z, A, B, C, this logical reason, that logical reason. And he had the exact opposite. It was this method, because logical reason X, logical reason Y, logical reason Z. So it was interesting. The exact same objective thing, with two different people, complete subjective opinions and ideas. Now, I think this kind of goes into explaining away a lot of issues that people have with not understanding other people, where they think, where they say, that's a strange thing to do. Why do you do that? What's that all about? Why is that? And this kind of goes into what I said earlier, where it's common sense, but it's worth internalizing and crystallizing. Because as I just said, you might not understand why someone did something, but from their point of view, that's the thing that they would have defaulted to. That's the exact thing that it would have reached for straight away and gone to without a second thought. Because people come from fundamental different backgrounds. They have different expectations, different values, and beyond, different traumas, different goals in life, different everything, different priorities. That's an important word, priorities. Different expectations, and you name it. It's worth understanding that. Even we have different incentives. With my acquaintance in public, we were meeting other people. I don't understand why he was going on this kind of tangent with socializing and all the rest, as opposed to this, or why in the aftermath we're letting leads go cold, let's say, as opposed to pursuing them and having something meaningful and going in this direction, which I was working towards, I was aiming for. And then I realized he's operating on a different value system. Now, the trick here is to say, is it right or wrong? That is a whole other philosophical question completely. That goes into an interesting word I came across recently, consequentialism and deontology. Deontology. The ends justify the means versus the means justify the ends. That's a whole other conversation. But it's like this fundamental axiom of life. This is what's called praxeology, as I said earlier, human action, economics, behavioral economics. People have different subjective opinions and values of everything. And if we expand that logic, value is subjective. What's important to one person is not important to someone else. There's a nice idiom: one man's treasure is another man's trash, and vice versa by logical extension. And there's a nice concept in economics called the law of marginal utility. The law of marginal utility. The law of marginal utility. Meaning, the more you consume of something, the more you have, the less you desire it. Imagine being extremely thirsty. Extremely thirsty. That first sip of water is amazing. It's a godsend. Oh, thank you. That second sip, thank you. You value it high, but not as much. It's not as high, but still pretty high. And each subsequent sip, you value it less and less, up until the point where you're repulsed by, water. No, I don't want more water. No, I don't need water. Because that's basically your ability to walk away. You're thirsty, you have a few glasses of water, you don't need water anymore at this particular moment, so you walk away. Or walk away from the water, the tap, you name it, the jug, everything. Law of marginal utility. And even that action itself is based on a subjective opinion and value and standards and expectations of life. Someone's drinking that water because X, Y, Z reason. Someone's not drinking the water because ABC reason. Interesting. So it's one of those things where it's common sense, and you could say it's blindingly obvious, by all means. But it's worth internalizing, worth crystallizing it. Everyone acts from a different set of values. And that's something I've also experienced kind of, subtly with my clients. But yes. Different set of values. Very important. Praxeology, law of marginal utility. Very nice. But otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.